All right, people, let's get serious. There's no playing around here. We've done the funny intro. We're about to look inside of this box. This is a serious one. This is Twilight Imperium, one of the largest games, both physically and epically there is. Twilight Imperium 3rd edition. Quick history of Twilight Imperium. There's 2 other versions. Everybody's caught up now. Good, right? That's about all I know about Edition 1 and Edition 2, other than that there was an expansion called Distant Suns, I think, which is why there's a module called Distant Suns in this. But that's enough. Twilight Imperium, just from the box art. Look, I'll show you. I'll just walk off camera right now, which is unprofessional, but who cares? And show you. Look at this. This is a coffin. They don't do the coffin cases anymore. This and Rune Age. I don't even think the new Rune Age does coffin cases anymore. Or Rune Banner. Yeah, Rune Age. This is the last one. This is the last vestige of the coffin case. Here's the thing. There's a lot in here. However, there's not enough to justify being a coffin case anymore. This came out at a time when that was kind of normal. But now we've got games like this, like Star Wars Rebellion, Forbidden Stars, I foolishly sold because I'm an idiot. In this same size box, you could fit in the Star Wars Rebellion box, Twilight Imperium 3rd edition. I'm convinced of that. Have not tried it, but I'm almost convinced that you could fit everything in here because that's kind of what they did with Rune Age 3rd edition. They took the coffin case and they put everything inside of the square box, which this is kind of Fantasy Flight's new go-to size for a very, very big game. I imagine that the new miniatures game will be in that same size box, but that's just the outside of the box. Look at the art. I mean, you saw that, the big, amazing, epic space art. I am not a sci-fi fan when it comes to, you know, your generic sci-fi movies, your generic sci-fi novels. I'm just not. I mean, I know there are a lot of people are. They do the conventions, they do all the things, but when you see this art, there is something about this picture that struck me because I used to get it in all the Fantasy Flight. Buy our catalog from 2015, 2016, 2012 if you buy an older game. And this picture always struck me. I was like, what is that game? And then I would kind of open it up and I would see this image, which is upside down. And I'd be like, man, that looks awfully Euro-y. And at the time, I was not into Euro games that much. Let me just give you a quick progression of history. I got into gaming because of a game called Hero Clicks. It has nothing to do with any of this over here. It's miniatures. It's a miniature game played on a paper mat with dice, and all your stats are on here. That led me into this game right here, Imperial Assault, because it's another miniatures game in the Star Wars universe. From Imperial Assault, all of this happened, and I became entrenched and just incensed by Euro games and stylistic games like that. Now you say, Brian, this is not a Euro game. You're throwing dice. Of course not. But there are Euro elements in Twilight Imperium that are just unparalleled. There are so many elements. Just forget it. Let's look inside first, and by that I mean we're going to go quick because there's so much in this game. Here's the thing, most videos on Twilight Imperium are over 30 minutes. I'm trying not to make this super long, but Twilight Imperium, it deserves it. You saw that art. The experience you had playing Twilight Imperium is just, it's unparalleled. There's political cards, there's intrigue, there's backstabbing, there's money, there's economics, there's warfare. You can play this game any way you want to play and get victory points and win. It's just, and see I said victory points, so you know it's got Euro elements. It's incredible. Let's look at this game. Okay, I have to stop that music right now because I'm sure I'll get slapped by the copyright. But I'm trying to make this swing in like a Star Destroyer at the beginning of a Star Wars movie because, oh man, that's not even gonna fit on frame, it's so big. Twilight Imperium, this is the game, man. This is the one I think everyone should try because it is so just deep. Christian Peterson, Fantasy Flight, 2 good things. Over there is Game of Thrones on my shelf, also made by Christian Peterson and Fantasy Flight. They both are for 3 players and up. This one plays up to 8, but dear goodness, you need a weekend for 8 players. Let's open this mammoth up. Oh, that was a sound effect. I didn't pay for that either. Look at that, wear and tear on the box because I love it. Here's the deal. Again, I feel like there's some wasted space here. This game does not have to be this big. To clarify one thing, in this box is more right now than just the base game. So when I open this and show it to you, don't like head explode because, oh my goodness, there's so much stuff and it's all separated and I don't know what it looks like. But this is the base game and some of both expansions. These are the different federations or whatever. Here's the thing, they went all out in this game. If you look in the rule book, it has this long story narrative about what's going on in this world, and on the back of every one of these cards in very tiny font, it's kind of the story of their race as well. So the clan of Sar. I'll just flip these kind of quick so you can see them because oh my goodness, they went into this hardcore and made just so many of these, and they're so well made and so pretty, and just you want to play them all. You do, you just want to play them all. And there's the picture. There's Leo. I don't know his name, but man, is he cool looking. The art is just incredible. These guys were really hilarious to play against. My favorite right here, the Turtles of Diplomacy. And that's it. That's all the races. There are 4 more, I think, that are in the other expansions I do not have in the box right now. This is a box of cards that okay, you know what? Let's just do this. Look, it's another one of these. Like I said, wasted space. Look at all these cards. This is not all the cards in the game. In fact, this is only a portion of the cards. I'll go through and show you what this is because I'm gonna move quick because there's so much in this game. Tiles. Look at the planet tiles. We'll go quick here. This is Mechatol Rex. This goes in the middle, and you build your play area around this. These are pretty good sized tiles. I don't really know how to describe it. They're probably 4 inches across this way. So they're very large tiles. Resource number, influence number. You can get 1 point of resource to build with, 6 influence to use for votes, or to qualify for certain whatever at the end of the game. Mechatol Rex is 2-sided, so you cannot lose it. These, however, are face down because you will put them out and build the galaxy from the beginning of the game in a tile-laying, drafting sort of system. Not really drafting, but tile-laying system. So 2 and 2, that's basically the numbers there. Votes are pretty awesome. This is a lot of this game. Hey, look, speaker token. Cool. Over here, this is the plastic miniatures for one of the 8 colors. This is yellow, in case you couldn't tell. This is the flagship. I've added this from the Shattered Throne, Shattered Empire, Shards of the Throne expansion. These are really, really cool. But I can't tell which direction they're flying in. The part of me wants to say this way just to be different, but they're probably like big flying sharks, so that way maybe. Who knows? Everybody gets one of these baggies that I've made up, which is all of their action and fleet tokens, their leaders, these little plus symbols here, some wormhole stuff because of these guys, I don't know, they maybe do that. And then the little flags here, so they can claim objectives. Everybody has those, all the different races, all of those races you just saw have those. Victory point tracked, play to 10, or if you have no sanity, play to 14. If you play this set of, nope, sorry. If you play this set of strategy cards, you play to 9, weirdly enough. Went pretty quick the other night. We played this game in 3 hours the other night. People are gonna call me a liar. We played it in 3 hours, teaching a new person in a 4-person game. But I'll tell you how that worked in a minute. Strategy cards, let's talk about these. These come in the base game here, these darker ones. These come in the expansion Shattered Empire over here. Everybody takes one of these, and this is very much a Euro sense because you all get one of these at the beginning of the round, and it does something for you. This one came in the expansion if you want to change out this one, because this one gives you a victory point, and people may not like that because it kind of speeds the game up, which I kind of thought was the point. They all do different things, you know, things like initiative, this lets you pick first and go first and stuff. Political, this lets you play a political card, which is the laws. You can activate laws, which kind of like the game of Flux is inside of this game. Don't let that turn you off. You can enact laws that change the rules of the game. Maybe you make a hand limit. That's a very mild one. Maybe you kill all certain types of units, just all kinds of crazy laws. And the way you do that is by having non-exhausted votes. Your planets that are non-exhausted, you get the amount of votes and you can get people to vote with you. And my gosh, just the political side of this game alone is so much fun. Warfare, it helps you, in fighting trade. You can open trade negotiations. Yes, that's right. You can have trade negotiations and you get benefits trading between other people. Logistics, this gives you more actions basically. All these, there's just so much here. And these are just basically different variations of those. Look at that. See, this one's yellow. That's not what I mean, but they just do different things than those right there. All the different colors, all that. Yep, that's pretty much it as far as components. And what do you know, Wormhole Nexus over here. Gotta love that. That's it for the components. So you say, well, okay, why is it so big? What takes so long? Because there are so many of these as well. This is the action card deck. Yep, that's right. I put it in one bag because it stands that tall, the action card deck. You can use those to do things like get benefits before combat starts, or make peace where people can't attack you. All kinds of incredible stuff. Each race also has a special power. These are the planet cards. So if you got Archon Tal, you would flip it down when you've spent it, when you've used it. So you want to use it to build with, you just flip it down like this. And that's basically the gist. And there's so many of these planets here. So these are supposed to be in alphabetical order. I have not gone through and fixed them since the other night because I'm an idiot and want to hate myself. Political cards, these are the ones I was talking about. There are so many of these. So for instance, this would be Elect a player. Give this card to the elected player. He may discard this card at any time to cancel a fleet's movement into a system containing an enemy fleet as long as the elected player controls neither fleet. The target system is still activated by the attacker. You basically shut down a combat between two of your opponents. That is incredible, the power that these things let you have. Here's the deal. If you wait and bide your time to play the political card and you haven't spent your planets, you haven't exhausted them, you can just basically buy the entire election or buy the entire legal process because of your influence that you have left. This is your tech deck here. Each color gets a tech deck. And there's a tech tree in each of the instruction booklets adding the new text. These are all different things. They're different colors for different types of things, warfare, all such as that. Some of the planets you'll see have a tech specialty on it. So if you have this planet, you'll get a, when you do the secondary action to build technology, it lets you pay to build technology. The first one just lets you have a technology. The second one lets you pay. That gives you a discount. So all these are different technologies that add stuff to your empire. I mean, you can travel through asteroid fields, you can shoot further away, your carriers get a +1 to their movement. All these things just make you better. And there's so many. You cannot make all these in one game. You can't even make half, you couldn't even make a quarter of them probably, to quote Tom Vassell almost verbatim in his review. That is such a cool thing. Each race also gets 2 specific technologies that really add to the flavor of their race, of their characters. That is pretty much, oh wait, there's more cards over here. These are colonies and refineries. You can just kind of make your planets a little bit better. Trade contracts, so when you trade, you'll get 3 trade goods if you have an agreement between this person. So when someone does the trade, whatever, that's how that works. I'm talking really fast, there's so much here. Unit reference card, secret objectives, public objectives. So you would flip this over. I have 3 technology advances of the same color. So if you, at the very end, the status phase of each round, have 3 yellow technologies, you would get a point for that. These are your cards for your flagship, which, man, that's cool. Each race has a different flagship that does vastly different things, has different powers, different combat things. In combat, you'll roll the dice of your combat ability right there. So on this sheet, let's see if we can show you. The Dreadnought is a pretty big ship. It has to roll a 5 or better on a 10-sided dice. You only get 1 per ship. So if you have 3 Dreadnoughts, you're rolling 3 dice, and every 5 or better is a hit. These are preliminary objectives, which are pretty neat. You get them first, then you get your secret objective, which is a really cool thing because it gives you 2 points, and you don't want to tell anybody what it is because you might be saying one thing with your mouth and trying to build towards that with another thing. These are your technologies for each race. These are so many cards in this game, but I love it. I love this game. I cannot talk about this game enough because it is that good. Just the expansiveness between these cards and these strategy actions and activating a system, all this different stuff just makes the game so incredible that I cannot not recommend this game. Just to give you a quick overview of how a turn works, you'll take an action and then it'll go around. So you could either play one of these cards as your action, one of your strategic actions as your action. I say one of because in a 4-person game you take 2 of these. So if you had production, for instance, you could either take this as your action and flip it over. This one would let you immediately build units in one of your systems containing a 1 or more friendly space docks, receiving 2 additional resources with which to build. So let's say if you did it here, you would get 4 points of resources to build. So you'll notice each ship costs a different resource. So if you wanted to build a Dreadnought, it would cost you 5. So you would have to spend the 2 from this planet by flipping the card face down. And any other card, it doesn't have to be this planet you spend it from, you could spend it from, anyway, you get the point, I'm pretty sure on that. You flip the cards face down, spend it by your, whatever you're buying. Secondary abilities on all these cards. You can spend one of your strategy allocation command points. Now you get to reallocate these how you want to. If you spin it from here, you get to do the secondary action of each card. So this one, for instance, lets you build some by spending a strategy allocation, and you get 3 units in one of your space docks, and it doesn't activate a system. That's the last concept I really want to talk about right now. You take one of your command counter triangle things there, and you put it onto a system. Then you can move all ships that are able to move, and there's a lot of rules and restrictions of movement, from the any system that can get to this place into here. And I know that's a horrible example, but that's how that works. You activate a system and move into it. It's kind of the opposite of Game of Thrones, where you put your action for marching orders on the thing and you can move them all out of it. This one, you activate the system and you move everybody in. That is translated almost directly into Star Wars Rebellion, which I love that mechanic of just transportation by activating a system. I think it's brilliant. This game is so big, though. Do you play it? Do you get it? I don't know. Let's go to the final thoughts and talk about it, because I like to use the words final thoughts because it's stereotypical for board game reviews to say final thoughts. So the question is, do you get Twilight Imperium? Is this game for you? That's a tough one, because I think every single type of gamer would enjoy this game. Now, would they enjoy playing it for 6 hours? No. But there's something in this game for everyone. Everybody would enjoy a piece of this game, which is why I think that everyone needs to try this game, or at least try just a portion of this game. Listen, when you get those votes in the political system and you can rock the vote, there's nothing better than that when you have all the planets refreshed with influence and no one else does. So you know that if you go into a vote, you're going to win, unless someone plays an action card which cancels all of your votes, which is what I did the other night. It was incredible. I was outvoted by 2-1. Basically, there was an alliance, and they were going to outvote me and take this away from me, whatever it was. It was a victory point or something like that. And I played this action card which canceled one of them's votes. It was incredible. So there's so much just turmoil and just things that can happen. You can build a massive war and fight. I didn't mention this, but your fleet size can only be whatever's in your fleet allocation. I mean, there's just so much to talk about. There's no way to even get all this in one overview, review type thing. But I would definitely say, now that this is back in stock, it's even back in stock as of October 2016 on the Fantasy Flight store. You can get this cool stuff, all those different places. You can find it on eBay. It's not that expensive for what's in this game. Now, if you want all the expansions with the flagships and stuff, you can find those still. But man, this is one of those games where when we finish, everyone sits back and goes, wow, that was an experience. It wasn't just a game, it was an experience. Now, I know that sounds silly because I talk so passionately about board games, but once you've played this game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Just the art alone sells it. And if you go back and look at the art from the first and second editions, huge leaps and bounds to get to this point. But that's because Fantasy Flight is who they are now. And this is an old game. It came out in, I think, 2006, this version. And man, did they hit it out of the park. Could it be simplified into a 4th edition? Absolutely. There are things you could do to get rid of. But I just don't care to. I love it as it is. You know, everything about it. I'll tell you what I would do, though. And I guarantee if there's a Twilight Imperium 4th edition, you can mark my words down that this will happen. There will be custom dice. There will not be 10-sided dice. There will be custom dice with hit or miss symbols, much like Battle Lore, much like Rebellion, much like Imperial Assault. Eldritch Horde doesn't have them, strangely, but you can buy them. Mansions of Madness. All of these are games now that have dice that fit. So that's my only gripe. There's 10-sided dice. That's it. This game is incredible. It takes a long time to set up. It takes a long time to play. But there are so many good mechanics in this game that are just in one game. Twilight Imperium 3rd Edition. Go get it if you can. Play it if you can. I should say this. Play it if you can. You will not forget the experience you had. There are moments when you're sitting back kind of like this, like, is it my turn yet? I understand that because one person's action, they may get a little AP on you, but there's only so many things you can do in a turn, and there's only so many actions that are beneficial in a turn, so it's not, you don't get those huge moments of AP, but man, Twilight Imperium 3rd Edition. It'll haunt you to play more. See what I did there? That was a callback to the intro, to the video. So, Twilight Imperium. Hey, make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed this video, if you chuckled even just a little bit, chortled, maybe even guffawed. I doubt that because nobody does that. Please subscribe. Please send this to other people so that they can watch the reviews and build the user base. I just want to get more people to see these videos just to enjoy the gaming hobby and laugh a little bit, you know? So check it out. I'm Bryan Drake with the latest retro. Click subscribe right down here. I'm pointing, I have no clue. And I'm doing the generic thing where people talk about where they're pointing and not pointing in the right place. So you know it's got to be good, right? See you next time.